Hello everyone, it's me Shar, and today I am going to go over how I basically created these jerseys using heat transfer vinyl. Um, and I didn't include the part where I'm designing everything on Cricut Design Space, but that's what I use. I also use HTVront, I hope I'm saying that right, for their heat transfer vinyl. That's the main one I use because you can find it on Amazon. And also my heat press, you could get on Amazon. You can get the sticky mats on Amazon. So I just wanted to take a second and go over these steps with you. So first, what I'm doing right now is what is known as weeding. And weeding is basically when you are taking the vinyl and removing it from the sticky part of the sheet. So when you use this method to make shirts, like the heat transfer vinyl, you will peel off what you don't want. Also, whenever you're using design space, you want to make sure you mirror your image, because when you put the image down, you want it to be reversed. So when you earn it, it's like the right way. You can use tools, like if you see the one tool that I have over there to do this, to get it off, but I really just rip it off for the most part, and then like the bigger pieces. When it gets to the smaller parts, I sometimes will use the tool, like, so I don't lift up, the wrong part. This is also what's tricky is you want to make sure that you're pulling up the right areas. I've done that a few times where I've pulled up the wrong area, and the old me would have like redone the whole image, but now I know how to just go back in and, like, if it can't be fixed, to just correct the piece that needs to be adjusted. But yeah, so I basically pull everything off by hand. And once again, I will definitely attach the materials I use in the description. And then for the small pieces or hard to get pieces, I use some of these weeding tools to peel it out. They also have like tweezers and things you can use to pick it up. I usually don't have on artificial nails, but when I do, I definitely need to use these tools more often. Now, there are so many other methods that you can use to make t-shirts, like the direct to film transfers. There's sublimation. There's, what is it? Print screening, silk screening. There's like a lot of methods, but this is just what I'm most familiar with. And I like that you can use, they have like the puff vinyl, the metallic vinyl, they have glitter vinyl, fuzzy vinyl. This is just one thing that I've always done. Yes, it is very time consuming, but for me, I use this as a form of self care or as a way to unwind and relax after a long day. It's just me and my tools, um, you know, chipping away at it. So I'll usually, the same way when I do the money bouquets, um, put on some music or put on a TV show and listen and watch. And thank you if you're new to my channel. Thank you for watching. For people who have continued to watch my channel, thank you for your continued support. But yeah, I do. I just started doing those money bouquets this year. So before that, I did a lot of, making t-shirts for sports or, family events. And I also make buttons. So I'll definitely incorporate some of that in my custom creation pieces. And if you have any ideas of something else that's like new and upcoming, or that you saw, um, I'm open to those suggestions as well. I'm always looking for other things to create or try, possibly. So you can leave that down in the comments as well. Also, if you make crafts, or if you make shirts, or if you make items, leave that in the comment and let me know what you make and when you started and how you like it. Now, this is going to be my first time. Well, this was my first time actually putting this on like the jersey material. So definitely it was a learning curve for me, but it was still something fun, and I would definitely do it again. And then as you get closer to the end, there's nothing more satisfying than getting right near those finishing pieces. I think on the first one I did, I accidentally took out that center of the O. So that's another thing. Sometimes it's easier to work your way from the outside in instead of starting from the inside out. And then you see like where I'm touching this everywhere, like on the sticky part, that won't have any impact on the final product. And also if you look where the letter B is that I'm doing right now, there's like a little crease in it. Once again, that won't have an impact on the final answer either. So, and did I do that right, or was there another ring? Because there should be another piece I'm pulling out. Okay, yeah, I am. So this is the part I'm wondering, was that supposed to be the middle? Oh no, there's a little line. Like, you see how small that is? Okay. Yeah, so that's the only thing I would caution, is definitely paying attention to what you're weeding. But I think I did before do it wrong. And that's the final product. So I'm going to do it again just so you can see weeding from another angle. I know sometimes it's hard to see, like when the camera is pointing towards me. So here's more of an aerial view, which hopefully gives you a better look at how I'm weeding it. I'll keep it slow, but then I'm just going to speed it up for time. Yeah, as you can see, paying attention to detail, watching, sometimes like if you've seen on that edge that I just did where it ends, little skinny pieces like that'll lift up, or if you have a cut that's very thin. Sometimes it can lift up the edge, or sometimes it won't cut, or sometimes it'll curl it up. I would just say do the best that you can and take your time, but you definitely have to very good attention to detail. And for other people that use the heat transfer vinyl, now I use the Cricut, but I know that there are other machines out there. Here are the tweezers I was talking about that you can use to like pick up smaller pieces. I know that there are other machines out there. I think it's like a silhouette or a Romeo Juliet Cameo. I think those are the names. Or if there are other machines that you use, if you let me know, I'm interested in what machines you use, what software that you use with it, and how do you like that. And if you've ever tried the Cricut before, and how do you like that, if you can leave that information in the comments. But I've had this Cricut for a while, and I've actually had like the first Cricut. I remember the first project I did was for my daughter's fifth birthday. It was, or fourth birthday, fifth birthday, fourth birthday. But we did it at the zoo, and I made like these invitations. I actually might try to find them because I always keep stuff, but it looked like little passports. I used like a Cricut. I used an embossing machine. I used like so many different things, but it was so fun to create. But that was where, like, now I do like how the Cricuts, you can just, put the setting on. And I actually did this from my phone. I like that about it too. Like, you can design everything from your phone, connect to the Cricut from your phone. You don't actually have to sit there and have a laptop to do things, or a desktop or a computer. I love the convenience of that. But with the with the very first model, where I'm like looking up the cut settings, like, how much pressure and everything to put on, and paper used to get all shredded up. So, like, just to see how far some of these do-it-yourself options and machines have come is like very rewarding to me, because I remember when. No, just joking. I know I won't quit my day job. Up, see right there. Lift up. Don't panic. Just put it back down. All is well. And then I will continue on. But yes, I had to do this for a whole team, so this was definitely very, very time consuming. Where some people use, like, where you can print the stuff out and, just earn it on. It would save a fraction of time. But I'm not sure how, like I said, how to do that and how it would work with that. But that may be something that I look into in the future. But then that's like more equipment and machinery that I would have to buy. More products. And here we are, finished. Looks amazing. See, now you see why I had to reverse it. So usually when I do this on cotton, the temperature I use is 300, and I do it for about 15 seconds. So I use the same setting, although there was a couple jerseys where like some of the numbers that I put in the corner, not the big numbers or not the logo, I had ended up putting like numbers in the corner, like after I showed it to people. I never played sports, but they were saying like it helps with the refs to have numbers in the front and on the back, not just on the back. So the numbers started lifting, so I did go over those again. But I actually used my Cricut mini press, and it sealed them right on. But what I do with cotton shirts is the same thing I did here. You kind of press it first so that it gets out all the moisture and will help the vinyl to adhere better. People use different methods to line up their image that they're going to put on there. I bought a couple devices. Being that these are youth shirts, this works pretty good for that. But there's a method where you can like fold it in half and then you line it up with the middle of the shirt. And that's a way that you can get the image centered. It is harder when you use this little tool that I have to line this up on like bigger shirts or adult shirts. So I do have another tool, but that I would say is the hardest part. Not the weeding, right? That's easy. Not the designing. I love to design logos, or sometimes I'll buy some off of Etsy. But it's actually lining the shirt up. I never want it to be like crooked. So that's the part that actually takes me the longest. It takes me just about as long as it does to weed it, to line it up, because I'm like such a perfectionist. So if you have another tool that you use, like I have the ones that look like it's a ruler and it has a thing down the middle and it has one you put on the top and one for the center. I have that tool, and I also have longer rulers. But if there's something else you use, or if there's another method that you use when creating your shirts, if you want to leave that in the comment for me as well. I love to read, your comments and get feedback or get advice. A lot of people leave me tips and tricks, and I appreciate it. Just as much as I hope that these videos help you, I also do gain information from your responses. So, nice slow peel because I was nervous. And then I will always go over it again, like to make sure it is adhered to properly. You can use parchment paper, or you can use, I think it's like a Teflon kind of paper, so that it doesn't stick. But I'll definitely press it again. And then I would do it again if I felt that needed to happen. So. All right, and it looks like we're done on this side. Give it a nice little stretch. Make sure that it's on there nice and taut. Make sure it doesn't lift up. Now it's time for the back. I'm going to heat that again. So the thing that I always worry about with the back too, not just to make sure it's straight, but like the placement of it. You don't want it down too low and you don't want it up too high. So finding that sweet spot is another thing. So, and there's references that I found on Etsy, and references that I use, like with this roller, that it has it. But what I made sure I did is, like, if you see where the V comes down on the back of this jersey, I sort of just lined all of them up, at the base of that V. I let that be the top. So, and then they were numbers. I had some single digits, some double digits. So I just made sure that those were centered as well. So here it is. Like, this is literally how long it takes me to line this up. I didn't want to speed it up because I kind of wanted to give like a realistic view of how long it takes just to produce one shirt. So once again, when people request to make shirts, or, when you do your pricing, remember the time and energy that it takes, to create them. If you're doing everything by hand and using this vinyl, it's not something that, is done in 2 minutes. It's a process. So here's that other method where I fold it in half, and I will line that center point up with the center of that line right there, so I know that the 2 is in the center of the shirt. But everybody has their own methods, and the more you do it, they say the better you get, but each time I'm always nervous about it. I was thinking about going to embroidery, like starting embroidery, and I've seen some videos where people use like the mighty hoops where you put the shirt in, I guess it's like a fixture sort of thing, and it actually lines it up for you, so you don't even have to guess. Like, you put the shirt on it and then you attach the things, and it'll put it right where you want it to be, based on if you want it to be in the center, a logo in the corner, whatever you need, it'll line it up like that. So as you see, I bent that number 2 in half, and you will see once I put it through the heat press that those lines won't be, on the shirt. I don't know why I'm being extra, but it's different when you're making something for yourself versus when you're doing this for other people. And even though this was donated, like I was donating this to the team just because there were some issues going on with their order, I was like, whenever I do stuff for other people, I want it to be better than what I would do for myself. So, okay, so it is now heated off. I'm going to heat it up. I'm going to peel off this number 2, and voila, magic. Now, if you look, I don't think you can see much of nothing, but you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit it up again, one more time, one more again, and I'm going to put it through with the Teflon sheet just to make sure that this number is on there pretty good. And I think I actually could have did it a little hotter. But here is the finished product. Everybody loved their uniform and they looked amazing. So if you have any questions, leave them below. Thank you for watching.